All right, hello, wine-drinking people. Time for more of what I've had to drink yesterday. And another great or large Argentina winery in here, Trapiche. And this is actually the largest winery in Argentina, the largest producer of Malbec in the world. Well, I guess it goes without saying. If you're the largest producer in Argentina, which Malbec is the principal grape that they make, and you'd be the largest producer of Malbec, because nowhere in the world do they make Malbec like they do in Argentina. You know, this grape originally from the southwest of France. They really don't use too much of it in Bordeaux anymore, but in Argentina, because of the altitude, the skins get a little thicker, and you can make a single varietal wine out of Malbec that is outstanding. Hard to believe only just a few years ago was the first single varietal Malbec produced, 1993, Fabre Montemayor. Those wines, outstanding values. The Trapiche winery, known for their, they've got a lot of bulk brands, but these wines that we had were the creme de la creme, the best wines in the portfolio, single vineyard wines, and really outstanding quality. The first one, a Mano, which means by hand, and this is a unique wine because they take 30% of the grapes and they crush them, and they separate the pulp and the seeds from the skins, and they just use the skins, which you think make the wine bitter. And it did have maybe a little bit of harshness to it the first day, but the second day, this wine really came around. And spends 20 months in oak, so you do get a little spice from that. The grapes are from the Uco Valley. Good amount of dark spices, tobacco, dark mocha, dark berry fruits, and black earth here. Only 3,000 cases produced in 2005, showing a little bit of evolution here. Daniel P. is the winemaker here, the mind behind these icon wines. A bit of smoky nuance to the bouquet, more pronounced black earth even showing on the second day, but really held together nicely. And that bitterness, a little steak will take care of that. Excellent juice at $67.50. The Trapiche Malbec Terroir series, the Finca Jorge Miralles, La Consulta, they reward the growers that they use, because even though they have a large amount of their own vineyards, they still draw from some top sites that are not owned by them, and they honor the top 3 every year by putting their name on the bottle, which they don't do this in California very much anymore, because in California, once people become famous as growers, they start to charge more money for their grapes. But a nice way to say you guys did a great job, and they do this for 3 growers every year. And this wine's got a really lovely bouquet here. This is my favorite wine in the group. Lovely black raspberry, toasty oak spice, dark chocolate, tobacco, really well-endowed bouquet of aroma, and kind of unique, kind of fresh popcorn aroma coming out in these 09s, and I guess because they're just so young on the first day. The second day, that disappeared, and some meaty notes here as well. Really lovely complexity, a big and chewy wine on the tongue with a good amount of everything, ripe, rich, cherry, and blackberry fruits, earth, and spice, really complex and layered, and wow, still very strong on the second day. My favorite wine among the bunch here, and on the second day showing brilliantly, more complex than everything else, and bigger also. Most excellent juice. Then the Terroir Series 2009, Finca Domenico Samorniento. Anyways, this is from Consulta. Also, they do, like I said, 3 different terroir selections every year. We got 2 of them on this tasting here, and a good amount of exotic spices to the bouquet here, and that buttered popcorn note also showing up on the first day, but disappearing as it opened up on the second day. Really nice complexity of this wine. Big and chewy, maybe not quite as big, and maybe just not as long as the Jorge Miralles wine, but good amount of stuffing here as well, though very rich. Some dry tannins coming in at the end. Pretty spice and floral notes as well in this wine. Sweet tobacco. Excellent firm acidity in this wine. Really well built. Both of these wines, you could tell, need a little time. And on the second day, this wine holding together nicely as well. Lots of spice and nuance and fresh berry fruit still. Most excellent juice. All right, the 2008s, and for some reason on the odd vintages in South America, it just seems better than the even vintages the last decade or so. This 2008 Cristina Bibiana Coletto single vineyard. This one is from a little different area here. It's from El Peral, and these are the Grower Hall of Fame. These guys, I guess, they make every year. They make one from this vineyard here, but really lovely exotic spices on the nose. The 2008's a little lighter on the first day. They gained a little complexity on the second day. I have to say, I like these 2008s even better on the second day. A little smoother, some dark chocolate espresso notes, sweet balsamic, really bright and fresh on the tongue. Not quite as juicy as the 2008s, but lovely balance. Not a blockbuster style, but nice elegance in this one, and nice length on the finish, even more complex and smoother, as I mentioned, on the second day. Most excellent juice. All right, and then the Malbec Vina Federico Villafane from La Consulta. This one, another single vineyard wine. Like I said, in 2008, they do different ones every year. They don't honor the same growers every year, except for, obviously, our prior wine that was in the Grower Hall of Fame. This wine has been a single vineyard since 1997, but there were vines on it when this guy bought it. Really well-endowed bouquet here of blackberry fruit, sweet tobacco spice, mocha, espresso notes. Big and chewy wine on the tongue, but still has wonderful freshness and balance. These 2008s just seemed a little bit lighter, more elegant than the 2009s, but almost every bit as complex. Excellent juice as well. That's what I had to drink with our folks from Vineyard Trapiche. I'm your host, Andrew Lamposoni, signing off for the Wine Watch, saying remember, always drink the good stuff first.